Well, our top story, Rishi Sunak's surprise election announcement has triggered a sense of urgency across political parties. Given the dramatic turn of events in the political landscape, the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has shelved two of his key bills, the Rwanda deportation plan and the smoking ban. With polls scheduled to be held on July 4th, the UK Parliament's wash-up period, which refers to the last leg of the Parliament in function before dissolution, ends today. With elections around the corner, the future of some of the most hotly debated bills now hangs in the balance. Sunak's Rwanda migrant policy and the smoking ban bill stand suspended, as the two were not included in the list of bills being rushed through before the next general elections. This essentially means that the Conservative government led by Sunak will not be able to implement the smoking ban before elections. It will now be up to the next government to pilot the bill. The bill, if passed, will effectively make it illegal for anyone born after 2009 to buy tobacco products in the UK. The Labour Party has reacted to the suspension, with several of the opposition leaders saying they would have supported the bill if it had been put forward despite the rules of Parliament's wash-up period. The Labour Party has repeatedly pledged its commitment to the smoking ban if the party comes to power following the summer polls. Several analysts expect the Labour Party to include the ban on smoking in its election manifesto as well.
Got the pledges out there? The amount of information you've got.
For more on this, we're now being joined by our correspondent John Bever from London. And well, John, two of Sunak's flagship policies have now been stalled, shelved for now. What does this mean for the elections? And of course, the Tories themselves quite unhappy with the Rwanda policy not going through and the first flight out not happening either.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think it's worth remembering as well that in terms of the Rwanda policy, as it's known, this is the plan to remove illegal migrants to Rwanda rather than have them stay here in the UK. It's already cost somewhere in the region of about $300 million that's been spent on it so far. So there are a lot of people saying this has just been a huge waste of money. Of course, it was Rishi Sunak himself who has set the date for this election. Legally, it only had to be held by the end of January of next year, but Rishi Sunak decided to go early and to have an earlier date. So a lot of uncertainty about exactly why he did that, and certainly he has admitted that there will be no Rwanda flights taking off before the election. So he will say that it was the opposition parties who stood in the way and got in the way of it all, and actually the policy would have worked. I would imagine that's what we're going to be hearing a lot of in the coming weeks ahead of the election. And yes, this smoking bill, this plan to gradually phase out smoking in the United Kingdom by raising the legal age at which you have to be in order to buy tobacco, would basically mean the end of smoking here in the UK. Now that has not made it through Parliament in time, as you said. Rishi Sunak has said he's disappointed about that, but again his critics have said, well, you called the election, so why call it so soon that it meant that this bill didn't get through Parliament? So he's been criticised for that. Worth noting, as you pointed out, though, that the Labour Party, the main opposition to the Conservatives here, have said that they support that bill as well. So I would expect that we will see that back in front of Parliament if Labour win a majority and form the next government when the public go to the polls on the 4th of July.
Right, John. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there on UK politics. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.